Hey everybody, Steve here, and this is day 7 of the 12 days of savoring, and I am wearing a stethoscope. A stethoscope, as you know, is a listening device. It's a listening device to listen to what's going on inside our bodies, to sort of detect what may be going on, the state of our health, maybe what's wrong if something's wrong, why we're feeling the way we're feeling, and etc. So this is a great tool in the right hands. I'm not a medical doctor or a formal therapist, but I love the concept of a guide or a counselor or a doctor who cares about me. And that's what I want to ask you to think about in this 7th day. I want you to savor the counselors in your life, the counselors, the people who maybe formerly, let's talk about that category, who formerly served the role of a therapist or a counselor in your life. When we think about counselors and therapists, we might think about TV characters like Dr. Sharon on Ted Lasso, or Dr. Kroger for Adrian Monk, or Jennifer Melfi for Tony Soprano. I think about Frasier Crane. And I also think about, going way back to my childhood, Dr. Bob Hartley, who was played by Bob Newhart. All of these therapists, they're funny characters many times. They may or may not be like super effective counselors, but they're professionals. They bring different things, right? They bring different elements of a good counselor. Some of them have a real expertise and a real wisdom. Some of them have a real empathy. Some of them are just there, right? They all have their own issues. Nobody's perfect. And so it's wonderful to have people like this, professionals, but they don't have to be a formal therapist. They could be a social worker. They may be a caseworker in your life. Somebody might be, again, a medical doctor or some kind of a doctor who is concerned about your overall health and maybe holistically very concerned about your overall wellness and well-being. And so are there professionals in your life, a nutritionist, somebody who's walking alongside you? My sweet Bonnie, she's a lactation consultant, and she coaches and counsels and guides moms. And so who are the formal counselors in your life? I want you to see them. I want you to celebrate them. I want you to be grateful for them, savor them. I'd like you to thank them. Think of a way to say thank you, however you might do that. You know what? Your pastor's a spiritual counselor, a spiritual guide. This is a great time to get somebody a coffee card and say thank you for all you do for me and for us, whether it be a professor or whoever that might be. There's formal categories. There's a second category that I'd like you to think of, because you need and we need all the support and all the counseling we can get, all the counselors. There's another category that's informal counselors. Informal counselors can be family. It could be your grandpa, your grandma. You might have an uncle. You might have a sister. My nieces and nephews are wise, and my kids, with every year, they get increasingly just wise and smart, and they see me and they know me and they're in my corner, and I can ask them questions and they can give me input. It's wonderful. This is just really, really wonderful. And so don't miss the informal counselors. They can be friends. Again, they're just like the TV therapists and counselors. They're imperfect. They have their own issues, but they see you, they love you, they're in your corner. Maybe co-workers or a classmate. They're all of these neighbors and informal people. Don't miss them. See them, savor them, celebrate them, thank them, and in both cases, take to heart the wisdom that you receive, and when it fits appropriately, act on it. And then the scriptures say that there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. And in Isaiah chapter 9, the Messiah, it says, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. In the next few days, I want to unpack each of those names. Today, it's Wonderful Counselor. In the ancient days, a counselor wasn't so much the therapist we picture on TV today. They were a strategist. They were a guide. This could be wise. You might think about Obi-Wan or the Council of Elrond. This gets closer to that kind of a counselor in the ancient days, in the biblical days as well. They may be giving military advice or political advice or spiritual direction. I didn't mention spiritual directors as a form of counsel. So Jesus is all of the best of all of the above. He sees you. He loves you. He loves you as you are, but too much to leave you as you are, because he knows, and we all know, that we're far from perfect. We have blind spots and we get in our own way. Some of the things we do are counterproductive and self-sabotage, and we don't know why. And Jesus will go there with us and be that soul care, that spiritual counselor that we need. He'll speak to us. He'll listen to us. He also will sometimes give us the guidance. It says in Scripture that you're going to hear a still small voice that says sometimes, this is the way, walk in it. And so reach out to all the wonderful counselors in your life, the formal, the informal, the eternal one. Reach out in these holidays when things can get difficult and we can sometimes go into some sad places and some lonely places. Reach out to the people, the professionals, the people, the organic relationships and the person who sees and knows and loves you and is there for you. I just pray that you will survive and thrive this holiday season and that you might be a wonderful counselor to somebody else as well. If there's somebody you know who could benefit from a video convo like this, please share this with them or even share this on your social somewhat. It could be the lifeline that somebody needs. So thanks for being with me throughout all of these 12 days of savoring. This is day 7. We're on the home stretch now. And I'm in your corner and cheering you on. Thanks for being with me. Take care.